was having issues with my sound. I noticed with the stream, a lot, as of the last couple streams, there were issues with people in the calls not getting picked up. And sorry about that. That happened during the last 3 videos, but I recorded them all just about right next to each other within 2 days' time. And so when I went to go check through them all, I fixed all of the sound properties and stuff, so that should not happen again. It has something to do with how I change my sensitivity settings on my Open Broadcaster source software. But it won't happen again, or if it does, I'll catch it right away this time. I haven't exactly been feeling good, as I named the last 2 videos after. Today, mowed the lawn, and now I want to do something productive, so I'm going to try, and this may or may not turn into a champion spotlight for Ashe. It probably won't be, because I'm really rusty with Ashe, and I have not played her. I don't know. That's how long it's been. I've played her. It's been longer since I played Akali. Almost as long, probably almost as long as since I played Akali. And if you know me, I don't play Akali. She's one of the only champions I just for some reason cannot grasp. The nuke and juking aspect of it, and the positioning, and I'm too aggressive of a player, so it's been about that long. Which is a really long time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, I'm going to try and ADC once more. This Lee Sin's taking forever to load. And it's not rare that I ADC, but ADCing as Ashe is just something that I haven't done in a really long time. So, this shouldn't be difficult. I mean, I'm seeing a couple issues with the bot lane right now, as in I have absolutely no idea who their ADC is. Lee Sin, Volibear, Ken, and Veigar, since they don't have an ADC, unless it's going to be Lee Sin. But Kennen's going to be mid. It looks like Veigar's probably going to be bot. Singe is definitely top. Volibear's bot. Man, this just makes my head hurt. I don't know where anyone's going. What? No. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. This is going to be very interesting. I'm going to ask them when we get in the game exactly what they had in mind when they picked these champions. Because my brain just hurts a little bit. Brian was on it, asked him to check the sound. Because I didn't notice, but the last couple times, not only has everyone else been quiet, but my voice has been booming loud. So I've actually turned it down a considerable amount, and it doesn't seem to have done very much. I'm moving it in very small increments, and it's affecting it pretty big. So according to everything else, I'm still like twice as loud, but I'm going to start off and go for an Avarice Blade early in the game, and the reason I'm doing that is because they don't have an ADC, so I'm not expecting them to push at us too hard, and if they do, it's not going to be an issue. I mean, it's really just not. I always start with the 1 pot. I'll usually go with the 2 pots or the sight ward, but I want the little extra gold so I can get that Avarice Blade a little bit early, because I realize I usually, when I go back, I need like 40 more gold or something. Just about 40 to 60 more gold, sometimes 80 if I go back too early. So I don't spend that little bit. I am going to try and incorporate a little bit of my sustainability builds that I'm known for, which are not very many as of yet, that I've actually made into spotlights, but it's very unusual to start with an Avarice Blade on Ashe because she doesn't benefit from the critical strike at all. The only reason I'm getting it at so far is to help me snowball a little bit later game, with a little bit safer early game. Playing defensive and under the tower, not so much chasing for kills, but being more farm focused. It looks like the enemy team's going to try and invade our red. But now that they know we're here, maybe not so eager to do that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap around here and keep an eye on this side. To make sure that they don't come in. It looks like they're not. Lee Sin is going to be the ADC in the bot lane. Very different. I have seen Lee Sin's ADC, though. It's kind of like having Shyvana tank at this point. I never liked tanky Shyvana, and they keep making changes to her, so I kind of stopped playing her. Because I honestly thought that she functioned better as an ADC, but I always thought that Lee Sin should have a little bit more of an ADC swing to it, but he doesn't have his natural tankiness when he goes ADC. I'm very interested to see how he's going to build. Come on, cue to me. Oh, didn't mean you, Kennen. Sad face. Well, it looks like he's just going to be playing poke. I was going to flash in W, but I don't think I would have killed them either way, and they did back, so. This is very favorable situation for us right now. I don't know why I can't click that. There we go. And still very low on health. I might have to flash him. Might have to flash out. I was trying to move away from that, but I couldn't react quick enough, unfortunately. I'm still a little tired from earlier. Cutting the grass and stuff, and I'm totally making up excuses right now. It's not gonna put us back. In fact, Ice may still be able to get him if his shield wears off. I didn't have my slow active. I'm not going to dive him. It's too risky. One thing I never understood about Ashe is her passive and how it's supposed to work with her is that it increases the less you're attacking, but she's really farm reliant, so why would you ever not be attacking unless you were assassinating? I mean, it's just one critical strike. I mean, it just seems really, really pointless, and they should really probably change the passive to it. Or at least add something to it. I don't know. Someone's messaging me. I'm gonna ignore it. I mean, so far we're doing pretty good. I mean, we're kind of falling behind a little bit because of that beginning, but they don't really have anything to get an edge on us with, except for if the jungle came down to gank. They're very bruiser-based team composition, which means they're going to have a fun time taking damage and dealing a little bit of AoE in the team fights, but I really don't even know how they could win it unless they have Veigar and Kennen both go heavy AP, which means I'm probably going to have to incorporate a Banshee's Veil somewhere in my build. So I'm anticipating that for later on. I don't know why he'd do that. He's basically just giving us a kill. If I could keep up. Oh, there, I got him. If I had my ultimate right now, he would be so dead. I'm actually gonna start leveling my Q a little bit earlier than I would, so that I can try and keep them into the fight just a little bit longer. It's only 5% slow at first. I'm gonna put 3 levels into my W, and then I'm gonna max 5 into my Q. Because I feel like this is going to be more about mobility than anything else. They don't really have anything else going for them at all, actually. I mean, Lee Sin, he's going to be the ADC, but he's not really tanky. I mean, he's going for the support build, so I'm just really confused as to what he's trying to do. It's kind of hurting my head a little. I'm going to tell Sona to change targets to Kennen. So that was enough to get Kennen down, and I'm going to ping Sona to back, so the two supports managed to get out of the fight on both sides. And because their Lee Sin is really heavy on the health, I'm going to actually rush a Blade of the Ruined King pretty early. I'm going to try and make it my first complete item before my boots even, because it still gives me the attack speed, plus 40% attack speed, lifesteal, attack damage, and it does damage based on current health. Lee Sin is really, really high on health, not so much armor. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to target for his maximum health. I may get a Black Cleaver later on. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and stray a little bit from what I usually would do with Ashe, and that would be going for the more traditional Bloodthirster and Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge, I think, is going to be somewhat of a not something I'm going to need to get here. So instead of going for just focusing on the damage, I'm going to focus on the health modification aspects of this build. It's kind of upsetting, though, that Black Cleaver doesn't give attack speed anymore. That was probably why I like to get it a lot on Ashe. It still is really good on her, and it will help significantly later on in team fights, considering that they are a very bruiser team. I'm still doing a significant amount of damage to them without fully dedicating myself to this fight. Didn't want to risk getting queued over there by Lisa, and I was out of position by mistake. Didn't want to be there, and Sona was recalling, so I'm going to try and stay within the experience range. I'm running out of mana. I may get a Chalice at some point. Probably not. I have gotten them on her before. Chalice is a very interesting, different item that you can get on Ashe if you're running low on mana. The only downside is she doesn't really gain anything from it except for the regeneration. It would be something that would be like a last-ditch item if you absolutely were having mana problems. You shouldn't need it if you're playing conservatively, which I will be on the abilities, and I'm going focused more for the attack damage and what my items are going to be providing me in these fights. Like right now, the Bilge Water Cutlass is going to become Blade of the Ruined King. So I'm going to be focusing more on my attack damage, more on my positioning and attack speed. And strategically using the actives of my item to my advantage. It looks like Ken's going to get out just because of his speed. That's just fine, though. We're playing a more slow approach to the game. We don't have to pick up every single one of these kills. It would have been nice if I could have popped that Bilge Water Cutlass before he got chance, but he was really out of my range. So I'm going to start maxing my Q right now. And as soon as I take this tower, I'm going to go recall, get a Blade of the Ruined King, and then I'm going to start going for my Berserker Creeps. Looks like Veigar managed to come gank us. He is getting really, really powerful. He is definitely going to be the AP carry of this game. It looks like Sona's going to be able to take him out if she's careful. She is not, and she ran right into that Star Call. Perfect bait. I really do like the way this Veigar's building, too. He's building similar to my build. He does have that Doran Ring in there for the early sustain, though, to try and balance off that early fall-off that he has. And he is 2-0, so we have to keep an eye out for him. He's going to be probably one of the main deciding factors And I'm actually really surprised that Valithor is doing as good as he's doing. He is going 6-1 in the top lane. We're going to have to keep an extra eye on him during these team fights, because he's going to be doing more than he would normally be doing otherwise. Lee Sin's going to try and kind of go around here, I think. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's warding the bush. I didn't see if he popped one or not. Oh, he wasn't under the turret when he did that. We're going to kind of drive him back now. Got a harassive W out on Kennen. Made him pop his Ian back off a little bit. He's an energy champion, so he didn't gain that much from him, other than a little bit of distance while I try to get some farm. I already have a very decent amount of attack speed. That's going to go up when I get my boots. Hold on a moment. And there goes the turret. Now I'm going to actually try and back off a little bit here, because I don't know where their jungler is until I can get that Hawkeye out. He is not there, so I'm going to go ahead and start pushing up just a little bit. I'm able to steal their movement speed with that Blade of the Ruined King, and they're very movement speed based and being able to kite, especially Kennen. So if I'm able to get the active off on him, I'm able to shut down a lot of his potential, allow my teammates to actually get some hits on him. I'm going to go help mid lane now. And it looks like there's 3 mid. We should be, just the 2 of us, able to do a significant amount of damage. If not, we might be able to kill them all. Gonna try and get him to pop something first. And I did not last very long at all, because of that high AP that Vigor already has. And now it looks like everyone's starting to come mid. Senna did a very good job at keeping them there, so now they're all really low on health. They're going to want to disengage that. And Talon's going to go in. I think he's going to get this kill on Kennen. I'm going to be focusing mostly on the mobility portion of my build for this match in order to combat Lee Sin and Kennen in the bot lane and do a little bit more in team fights and be a little more safe. So I'm actually going to hurry up and get the Fury enchantment as quickly as possible. Kind of wasted my ult there. I thought he wouldn't. I didn't know he would stop to drop that rune prism. But that's okay. It's only an 80-second cooldown. It's going to be a while before we get into another team fight, so no harm done. I didn't know if he had a splash up either. I'm assuming not. They actually managed to steal our blue buff. Gotta be a little bit more careful around this area. Now we're gonna converge on them and take them both out. Got my Blade of the Ruined King active off on him right away. Constant slowing on Singed secured us both those kills. And our Lee Sin got a double kill. We have to be very careful when fighting Vigor under the turret. He doesn't have anything to lose at this point. So I went in there and tried to do as much damage as possible. So he has to at least try to be a little bit more careful. And it looks like I'm going to kill him right now. And I did kill him. Volder's the only one in there. But they did manage to get our Sona. Not sure that was really that much worth it, but maybe a little bit that he's out there helps. He says worth it, but it was pretty much even in that fight. You know what, I think I'm going to go for a Frozen Mallet next to help more with the team aspect. I don't think that just going high damage in here is going to help. We have a lot of burst damage on the team. We have Akali, we have Talon, we have Lee Sin, and then Sona's giving us that aura, which is increasing all of our attack damage passively when she has her power cord active. So I'm going to be playing less of a carry role, more of a support role. Although in a very helpful manner that I'm still going to be fulfilling the role of AD carry. I almost just threw my ult out there by accident. I got my Root Blade of the Ruined King off on Singe, and I'm constantly selling him, so he's going to go down. And we got all 4 of them. I don't know where Lee Sin is. Lee Sin is busy in the bot lane. I'm going to teleport down them and kind of rain on his parade a little bit. I'm not going to let him get out of this fight alive. And he popped his flash just before he died. I don't know why, if he was trying to flash away, but I managed to kill his flash and kill Lee Sin. Now, I got teleport on flash. I usually don't get teleport on flash. I'll usually get exhaust or ignite, but for this game, I am trying to focus more on mobility, like I said. We have plenty of burst damage on the team already, and so I'm trying to fill one of the other roles as being more assisting in these team fights. So we just got the dragon. My Q's level 5, so I'm going to finish off maxing my W. And I may have to bolt out of this fight, or I'm going to get cut off. I'm probably going to have to use my ultimate here. If I had the mana, which I don't, I'm not going to be able to get out of here, so I'm just going to try and do some damage. And I'm going to grab the Phage, and I'll be right back. I need to use the restroom. Alright, just in time. This game isn't quite going in our favor, but I'm still doing really good. 7, 6, and 6. Thanks to my great support and teammates. I have to be very careful with this Veigar. If he grabs me, I'm dead. Might be the end of the game. So not much we could do against that. They didn't have a standard team fight, team combination, but all in all, I've been saying that a lot lately. All in all, it looks like it. I don't know if we're gonna lose right here. We may or may not. You'll know before I will. And once again, they're gonna. Kali's gonna actually chase after them, and she might be able to get them if we can. Get a Quadra, we might be able to push back into their base. As long as she doesn't get caught by Veigar. He's really good at hiding those bushes, dropping that stun, and then dropping his burst. It looks like he might do that right now as she goes around the corner. He's waiting for it. There he is. He flashed across the wall just in time. It looks like he's going to get away. No, Lee Sin's going in. He's going for it. He flashed. Not very far. It looks like he might get caught right there by the enemy team. This might have just turned around. I'm not sure whether to ping them to back or not. I'm just going to let them see. I'll let them make a judgment call on this one. This is actually a very interesting turn of events that just happened. I wasn't expecting our team to be able to make a chase right there. I'm not doing a high amount of damage at all. But I do have a decent amount of attack speed. That will keep the slow procs going in my game. Not sure what Volibear's talking about. It's not over yet. Actually not sure I can 1v1 him. I cannot. What the heck? Really? Well, now we definitely lost this. This always happens. Anyway, this was then my mobility complex build of Ashe, where the focus is more than just raw damage, but more of mobility, survivability, farming, and even though I still have the highest amount of farm in the game, it's not significant, but we were having issues with the enemy team, and there was a lot of direct encounters going on. He's going to go down. I'm just going to defend. Other items I would recommend for this variant of a build would be Hurricane. The Hurricane. I don't know. I usually don't get Hurricane on Ashe. Couldn't flash out that whole time. I tried popping it earlier, but I honestly have to say I didn't have the best team this game, and they were just way too tanky. Their Veigar got fed Volibear. I don't know how Volibear managed to get that fed on the top lane, but yeah, hopefully you can learn something from this build. And once again, the Everest Blade, mostly for the gold, lets me kite more into the Blade of the Ruined King and try to get that Frozen Mallet a little bit quicker. Where the object is more of doing sustained fire than direct damage. The only downside is that, unfortunately, Volibear, with this build, I don't have very much defense against him, so I'm not able to go up against him in a 1v1. I'm very team-based with this build, and I stand very little chance of taking down anyone in a 1-versus-1 confrontation on my own. So use this build if you have to rely on movement, and less on survivability and direct confrontations, and focusing more in the indirect confrontation, like a ranged carry would do, without being directly in the middle of the fight and throwing yourself in there, like happens a lot when you go pure AD Ashe. So I hope you find this video useful. Please like and favorite this if you like it, so I'll know to make more like it. And subscribe to us here on YouTube, youtube.com/ValithorGaming. I'm recording this live on twitch.tv/ValithorGaming. That Volibear is just running right for me. And I hope to see you next time. I'm going to continue to play this out to the end of the game, but I don't know how many more helpful tips I can throw out there at this point. So the two core items of this build are the Blade of the Ruined King and the Frozen Mallet. Instead of getting an Avarice Blade, you can get a Philosopher's Stone instead in place of it if you want the extra health and regen. And it does give, I think it gives more gold than this one does. And I'm 90% sure it does. It does give, that gives 5 gold. The Avarice Blade only gives 3 gold. But Ashe scales naturally with the critical strike increasing over time due to her focus. So I always thought it would be a good idea, and it generally is. And increases the chance of her getting some use out of that passive. And I will see you in the next video. This has been your host, Valithor, and I'll see you next time.